Good evening. It's now 6:31 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. Start with roll call.
Okay. Alex Colazzo,
Present.
Charles Michael.
Present.
Mary Pelican, present. Phil Tarko. John Eckstein.
Here.
Troy Overstein, present. Michelle Cooksey, present. Barbara McGill, present. Martin Rexo, here. Stacy Ritter. Samantha Sinsford, here. Solomon Schoonover. And here. Hunter.
Here.
All right, you do have a quorum, sir.
I will start with the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Everyone received the minutes emailed out to us. Yeah. That's good. So we had a chance to review them. Any errors, omissions, corrections, concerns? Could I get a motion to minutes from last?
I motion to approve the minutes.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Unheard, motion carries. Department update. Deputy Director.
AMG Baptiste, Deputy Director of Parks and Recreation. Good evening, everyone. So, just a few updates. So last week, Friday, we did do an unveiling of the newly renovated UC Alexander Park. So if you have not gone by the park, you should go by. It's beautiful. So upcoming events, we have the Wally celebration is this Saturday from 6 to 9 at Los Olas Oceanside Park. We have quite a few light up events, but I'll just go through a few of them leading up to next meeting. We have Light Up Lauderdale, which is November 7th at Esplanade Park. We have Light Up the Beach, which is my personal favorite, which is on November 18th at Los Olas Oceanside Park, and Light Up the Gulf, which is on November 21st, which is at North Beach Restaurants and Shops, which is off of A1A and Oakland Park Boulevard. I did also want to bring up the rules and regulations that we went over in August meeting that you guys approved, and the biggest part of that is the dog park rules. Will be going up on the agenda, the city commission agenda on 7th. Chair or vice chair, it'll be lovely if one of you guys can attend that meeting, only if commission has questions that's been brought to commission a couple times, right before. So if one of you guys can attend, that'll be great. Let me know. You can email Leanna to confirm. And that is all my updates.
What about Christmas on the Souls? Are we part of that? Oh, show starts.
The postal does start the 30th, and we're not the Christmas almost. That's a
Right. Or just the Los Olas downtown. Okay. No.
Normally, I'm at the commission meetings when they're talking about dogs and parks. Everybody knows that's a big thing for me. But I will not be here. And so I would be really good if somebody could be there to, I don't even have a dog. I just can't still believe that we are not allowed to have dogs in parks in this city. So if one of you guys, if somebody can be there, please, I would appreciate it.
And colleges now?
So we're, I loved it.
What time?
And I was at the opening.
on November 7th.
And I was at the opening of the park on the beachfront. It's lovely. It's really
I'm gonna see it tomorrow.
It's really lovely.
Yeah, so I got-
Yeah, you do. So it's lovely. It looks like a sculpture. Yeah.
Remember arguing about that, Charlie? Remember arguing about that park and that whole thing going up there, and I wanted the top to be white?
Yes.
I won. And it looks good.
But it looks like a sculpture. That's why it's
I know.
white.
Yeah. They argued about that quite a bit.
Well, I don't know. Everybody has an opportunity to ask you
Yeah.
Any others?
Tuesday.
I'm talking.
Tuesday selection.
Oh, yeah.
Right, that's why. Oh, that's why we don't have a task force. That's why we select.
Any other questions for department update? Or, none heard. We'll move on to item number 2, introduction of renewed tenant pro Scott.
Yes. So good evening. I know you all have anxiously been awaiting to hear from our new tenants director. I believe he started in July and has really started to implement a lot of the programs and maintenance. I think that we all discussed over several months as part of the board. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Scott.
It's pronounced Pukash. Nobody ever gets it right. But I don't know if I should stand or sit. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure coming and being here tonight and getting to meet all of you for the first time. I'll go over a few of the things that I've done, but I first want to say I absolutely love it. It's been in my career, this is my favorite job so far that I've ever had. It's also the job that I've had to work the hardest at initially, but I'm really embracing it and enjoying it. And I want you all to know that you might see me there early in the morning and late at night. I know I run into Marta there quite a bit, which is great. And but I'm really enjoying it, and I haven't slowed down yet. But some of the things we started to do, I wanted to really attack the maintenance initially. Me being somebody that's part of this community. Lived here for so long. I worked at Coral Ridge Country Club and then Lauderdale Yacht Club for the past 20 plus years. I've always played on teams at Jimmy Everett Tennis Center, so I know what the maintenance is like. I know what the courts are like. I know what the reputation there has been. So we've really worked hard on improving the courts. That was the first thing I really jumped into, and I feel like we're getting there. I feel like we're making lots and lots of progress. Working with the front desk staff, which I think they're amazing. They're all great people. Just trying to put them at ease and help them in any way that I can. Handle the important questions that they get bombarded with. I can take a lot of weight off of their shoulders. And then in just easing the way the customer relations go. Update and inform all the members. When we have little things, little rainouts and things like that, we're staying on top of that. I can't emphasize enough how good the staff is about this. I feel like I inherited a really terrific staff. And then above and beyond that, the latest thing that I'm really digging my hooks into is the instruction. So now I'm getting to that part now and really enjoying it. Just trying to change the culture a little bit with the way with some of the instructors and the way we approach our clinics. And I've also gone out. We've started this community coaches program that I had about a month ago, and from there we picked up 2 coaches that are now helping us with Pee-wees on Sundays. They're going to start this Sunday actually. I've got a couple other new coaches that have come in to help with evening clinics, and these are guys that 2 of them are guys. I've got one girl on Sundays, but some of them were tennis pros in the past and now have different careers, but they still want to stay involved and do some stuff in the evening. So I'm going to take full advantage of that while I can. And they've been a big help to me. With bringing them in, that'll enable me to now get off the court a little bit more and hopefully initiate some new clinics. So we're really interested in doing some high performance juniors possibly, and also adding cardio tennis. But anyway, I don't want to bore you with all the details, and I feel like I already have. But again, thanks for having me. Does anybody have any questions or anything?
I got
wonder. Yeah.
just curious to know, are you just strictly out of Holiday and Chris Everett Park? Or
Yeah, as of
all-
now, just Jimmy Everett Tennis Center. Yeah,
So GE is that like
that's
in your jurisdiction or? Is
yeah. When I came on board, that was one of the first questions I had is, do you want me to, also oversee that? And they just wanted me to stay with Jimmy Everett for now. So
And you have to pay for the coach lessons?
for the community coaches, yes, yes.
And
How does that work? Okay, so the community coaches that come in and that assist me with the clinics and various other things, they're paid by me, not by the city.
do the
players pay for the coaches as well?
The Jimmy Everett Tennis Center instructors, yes. The community coaches, right now, they're just assisting in the clinics. Yeah. Yep, because what happened, what I discovered when we got in there, we had the teacher-student ratio was off balance for my liking. Too many students, not enough teachers. So we're trying to improve on that. So we're expanding to more boards, more coaches. And that way, when you come out and you do a clinic, instead of it being 8 students to 1 coach for an hour lesson, which isn't much, you're not getting a lot of value for that. Now it's more like 4 or 5 students per instructor, which is much better. Yeah. And it's worth it for me to do that. So that's one thing I've implemented. Yeah. But that part does not get, the city is not footing the bill for those guys. Yeah. Yes.
A question about the ball machine and,
Huh?
and because I primarily play on the ball machine.
Okay.
So, and also George English, because that's also where I primarily play. I have, to be honest, it's probably one of the worst facilities I've played at, especially the ball machine and the regulations around it.
Jimmy Everett?
Well, first off, Jimmy Everett with the ball machine membership and the length of the fact that if you renew it, like mine was up to say July, and I chose to renew in December because of the regulations, and they said that I was going to lose that 5 months, and so and I kind of got very mad about that, and so because that's like 5 months of
I'm trying to understand that a little better.
yeah. So basically, what they said was her name Donna, or no, not Donna. It's okay. She said that it was supposed to renew in July, and instead I lapsed it into December, and it's a year-long membership, and so she said that I was going to lose the 5 months.
So you started your membership in December, but they
Right.
like the pro involvement.
Right. Like I was like, why can't you renew during like December to December? Like why is it has to be July to July?
All right, I'll look into that.
And just like the ball machine maintenance. I know that there was like one really old one that they had for a while. And
Yeah. Well, right now we're actually using that now. So we had to take the other one apart to get the remote control fixed.
Okay.
So that is happening as we speak.
Yeah.
Yes. And I just dealt with that person today, as a matter of fact.
Oh, okay.
So we're sending the remote and the receiver back to him, and then we had to take apart the machines and that. So that's going to be fixed soon. But anyway, we're starting to get into a better rhythm with balls. Everybody complains about balls.
Yeah. The ball.
But no, and it was a really simple solution. We run a round robin every Friday evening and Sunday, and which they come in. It's a very reasonable price to participate in the round robin. I think they pay like $5 or $6, and we open up new cans of balls for them. So now I don't know what was happening with balls before that, but now we're making sure we get all the balls after the round robin's over, and those are going into the ball machine on a weekly basis. So it's like 30 to 40 balls a week. And if we do that every week, it should keep up. I mean, that was an easy fix. But as far as your situation goes with membership, I'm going to look into that.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah.
So in other words, there's a start date for everybody, and that's July.
Or
Right.
no, I guess because originally like 2 years ago I started in July, and so they were like, okay, July to July, and then July to July, and then usually you're like, okay, well it's been a year, and then I just continue on, and then
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I will definitely look into that. Yeah. Anybody else? Yes.
You can say that,
Yeah, thank you.
because I have a plenty of questions, but obviously you know me, I'm fascinated for the tennis. I'm not a pro, purely recreational, but I want to just bring this to the board that this is a very amazing facility. I'm always speaking about the Jimmy Everett very highly. Has a great community, but there is no free entry to the tennis courts, right? Like we're paying a membership. I feel like we're paying taxes, we're paying membership, then we're paying every hour on the hour. There is a lot of, and the goal is to provide all those amazing facilities to our taxpayers. And I feel like we can do better work if it comes to the maintenance of this facility. And the reason why I asked for this meeting, it's not only to meet you, but find out what you need from the city and kind of bring the introduction to the board, because this is very unique position. So Scott is not a city employee, Scott is a contractor. So his contract was approved by the commissioners, and I believe on the June 26th. So he's a contractor, he's a self-employed contractor, he's not a, I understand the previous director was overseeing the Jimmy Everett, other tennis parks facilities in the city. We have one downtown, we have one by the River Oaks where I live. So looks like, I don't know who's overseeing those facilities right now. So that would be my question probably to Carl. We have a one tennis director and it's like only for Jimmy Everett. There's some concerns about you telling me, maintenance. You did a lot of great work. I believe you did, but it's gonna take a time when I see that because I don't see it. And I think you had already conversation with me. First, I noticed there was quality of the balls. I take the classes, I pay for those coaches, and the balls are horrible. So we had that conversation. For the last 3 years, I didn't have a bad ball with my coach, and my couple of weeks recently, there is every other ball is terrible. And that's something what we need to maintain and change, right? Because all the time, because they're getting hit so many times and they're getting softer and just they don't bounce right. And the quality of the training doesn't fit the purpose. You already addressed that. I understand you gave my instructor good balls and you may straight this up. But in your contract, looks like you're covering that for the program.
Covering expenses for the practice balls.
Correct. Is that true or that's still the same?
No, I'm not covering the cost of the practice balls.
Okay. So the balls are still provided by the city.
Balls are provided by the city, correct?
Okay. But your contract is saying that you're getting percentage from the revenues from the facilities. So they said
Not from the current instructors, no.
from the new instructors.
Yeah, which I don't have any yet.
Probably not the best time to talk about the contract, this venue.
Public board meeting for
Okay.
introduction.
Right.
Well, I was just confused with the balls, but looks like the city provides the balls, and there is also some schematics of the payment for the tennis pro. So I take your recommendation, Carl. We can discuss this later. There's some, obviously I looked through the contract, but if that's not the place that you want me to talk, that's fine. I take that.
Well, you can ask, but I just want to clarify, you can ask questions, but this is a contract that was approved by the city commission, so we can't really negotiate the terms or renegotiate the
I
terms.
understand, and I.
But,
But
if
I
you
wanna,
wanna meet with staff or, with Mr. Pukish
Thank you.
in person.
Yeah, more time. I'd love to talk more offline,
I think.
especially about the situation with your
That-
the basketballs. I would love to talk to you more about that.
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm not here to renegotiate the contract. I respect the contract was approved, but we were, as a board, I was already on the board and we were not aware there is a negotiation of the contract. So I just want to bring that to the attention of the staff that Scott is not a city employee, he's actually a contractor, and there's some benefits in the contract that they listed, how to maintain the facilities and what is city expense and what is provided by the company.
I understand. I just want to be sure that, that the terms are not something that you're questioning Mr. Pukish about, in terms of what are you doing with not doing. We can provide you with a copy of the contract.
I do have to.
And so everyone can be aware of, the terms and what Mr. Pukish is, did I butcher your name again? Okay,
got it.
what he is obligated to provide, the services that he's obligated to perform, and of course, the city's obligation and in terms of what the facility should be providing in terms of equipment and other types of services to accommodate the community. We can provide you that information.
Well, he just clarified what it was. That was my
Okay.
context. I do have a copy of the contract, so thank you.
Okay, you are.
There is also Holiday Park Phase One, Jimmy Everett improvements, so looks like the deadline was yesterday, also October 21st. There was the RFQ going for contractor services for some improvements. Who is overseeing those programs? We don't have a director. So is that,
I'm a little
Is
confused.
the
Are you asking?
Scott
who
overseeing
oversees
that?
so Scott is a part of that discussion as far as overall progress in the design of the facility. Our team is kind of overseeing the construction and along with procurement and legal's involvement in moving this through the process of the city.
and that project, that was the project that was banned, right?
Correct.
So did you receive any proposals or they?
We did. I can't really get into the details of how many, but we did receive some proposals.
Okay, and there's something at the end, I wanna just reiterate that back in May, I did ask our lovely Lena provided me information, but I did ask about the revenues that the Jimmy Everett is generating versus our aquatic center. So I think it's very important to tell the board that this is one of the parts that it's actually generating some good revenue. So normally parks don't generate that, but I think it's important to highlight that. I believe the board received the same information, but back in May, looks like in fiscal year 23, the revenues was $865,000 plus and expenses 1.1 million, which looks like 75% is covered by the own revenue in the park. So this is well self-maintained and self-supporting facility. Just compared to our aquatic center, when the revenues, they're generating 20% of the expenses. So I don't know if you guys have that email from Liana, but I did ask her for that comparison. I believe it's not proportional. So the investment, the new director, I know the community raised the voice to the commissioners. I was myself for the last 3 years. I've been going to the meetings, had my 2 minutes, and I spoke about it. And there was a lot of community members that they 8 years old. You guys know tennis is one of the healthiest sports in America. And it's really hard to, breaking when you see the older people, they enjoy the game, they want to be part of this community, and they struggle maybe to pay membership when we have, picables that we maintain and they're free, right? That facility actually cost us to come in to play, but looks like generate some good revenues. And I think that's the time to reinvest revenues and provide some decent facility for the members.
Yeah, so the facility itself does generate revenue and there are fees associated with use of it. But just so that we're clear, that's not an enterprise fund. It is subsidized by the city with taxpayer dollars for us to fully operate that facility. It's not an enterprise fund like our cemeteries are, where the proceeds from that help fund and move the operation of that facility forward. So similar to the aquatic center, I know you mentioned that the aquatic center is also subsidized by the city as well.
That's correct, but 8% is subsidized in the aquatic center when it looks like only 25% from the taxpayers is subsidized in a tennis. And the membership, I believe we have close to 1,000 members over there. If you look at the number of the members, so it is a great facility. I just would like to see, that it is better and we provide this quality of the recreational sport, because that's not only my voice, and I think, we can do a better work. Hopefully Scott is the guy that's gonna take this charge.
Very good.
That's all what I got.
Other than the practice balls, was there anything else right now that needed?
Well, I was not aware that, I was aware that you are providing the coaches, that's, you call this community coaches. So I think that's not the pro coaches, that's a little bit different in the certification. So I'm assuming the price would be different if you want to train the community coach compared to the coach that had those certification levels.
They're only doing the clinics, they're only helping with.
So take hikers, but again, you know, I'm assuming that's a different rate structure. So if I take a class,
I would like to sign up for the planning person.
but again, I think that should be more transparent if you're training for the pro coach or you're training for the community coach, right?
Oh, as far as like who the.
As the hourly rates, yes.
Yeah, so what we could do is I could put you in contact with Scott. and
Yeah.
Kind of,
I see Scott,
Yeah, I can explain more.
Yeah.
Directly to you
I
about.
do enjoy that facility,
Yeah.
but you know, I don't think that we should be paying for the class with the community coach the same money that we're paying for the pro, right? There's a different certification levels, there's some different insurance also involved and stuff like that, so I believe the pros, they class exams and it's 3 different levels and you have them, so.
Right.
That's something what you bring to the community coach, so I just wanna make sure that it's different rate structure.
Yeah, we should talk about that. That would be great.
And we already spoke about the cost, I don't have any question.
Sorry. Just, I know that we want to pass through the other topic. But, and sorry for another question on this, but one question that I do have, Scott, is I know even Pompano has like play by court and things online instead of like just writing it in person. I was wondering if Fort Lauderdale could also look into more technology around that.
So we actually did encumber a software as part of our RecTrack system. We just accommodated that for this fiscal year and we'll be implementing that soon.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. That was
Amy, that'll include court reservations.
Yes. So it's a court reservation software as part of our entire software that we use other reservations for the city.
And that would be a great idea.
sorry. No, you're fine. I didn't want to ask.
Nice to meet you, Scott.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.
On board.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Although you've been here all this time.
Yeah.
Well, I started.
And both of my kids. Oh, there you go.
I started in mid-July. Mid-July was started.
Are you guys playing in Holiday Park?
I'm broken now.
And I'm old.
How about the kids?
Used to always play Holiday Park. Kids grew up playing at Holiday Park and they used to do
Not that-
summer camp at the yacht club with Scott for years. But we all learned to play with Scott. So happy.
And you said you saw my daughter playing a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, well, no, it was a couple of years ago.
Oh.
It was the last time I saw one. Yeah. No, that was the last time I saw it.
I know you from Ridge.
Oh, okay. All right. From back when I was at Coral Ridge Country Club.
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
I was bowling Tarco.
Oh, nice to see you, Bull. She's a great player.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay. Didn't recognize the last name. Sorry.
And I go by our first name now.
We got to get you out there playing.
I play in the ball machine. The ball machine's kind of weird. So
Now we get here.
You take the frustrations out of it also.
it always wins.
Question for Scott. Very nice to meet you.
Thanks. But only you hit with 2 hands on both sides. You serve left-handed.
Well, I have a one-handed.
Oh, you can. Yeah.
Moving on. Next up would be YMCA swimming pool.
Yes, so as you all remember from our last meeting, we had a very nice presentation about the YMCA and that parcel of property there off Federal. And as a precursor, which brings us to today, is that our commissioners has recommended some assistance to fund the swimming pool for the YMCA, which will be available for the public. And so as part of the bond process, as a board, you all have a recommendation to provide District 1 Commissioner as well as District 2 Commissioner has committed $1 million from their land acquisition fund to assist with the funding for this particular project. Therefore, so as you can see, the nice billboards, lovely hors d'oeuvres here.
Always.
So that all being said, I wanted to bring this before the board so that you're aware of it and that you also can make a recommendation for that contribution from the two district commissioners to assist with the funding of the swimming pool of the YMCA. Ms. Woods is here today, so if there's any questions specifically about the project, she can help answer those.
Is it $1 million per district?
Yes, sir.
Total to do.
So that's all they want for the pool,
So,
2 million?
That's what was committed from. What I can tell you is that's what the commissioners have committed to as part of that.
The pool, the pool gonna cost 2 million?
No, that's just
So-
what we have.
Which districts are they?
Districts 1 and 2.
Back real quick, for the recording, we need to have somebody recognized or formally introduced in the YMCA.
Either you or the chair.
Okay. Well, could you state your name?
Cheryl Woods,
And you are what, the YMCA?
President and CEO of the YMCA of South Florida,
Excellent.
and my wonderful team of volunteers and staff.
Do you have a presentation tonight?
Joe.
Or
Just no presentation, it's just.
Yes, we had the presentation last meeting.
Right, I just didn't know if there was anything more formal. What is the cost of the pool overall? to this?
Well, it's gonna be probably 4.5 million. And, you know, one of the things that, if you recall, we talked about and want to continue to talk about, and I think what city commission loved, was the importance of making sure we teach as many kids as possible how to swim and how to be safe around water. And so I think this is one of those investments that has a legacy to it forever. You know, I mean, we own the operation of the pool and the maintenance of the pool and the construction of the pool, but this is well worth that investment for us to be sure that we're committed to serving your children in this community. And
So I'm assuming that's free lessons,
I'm sorry.
free lessons. Or
Well, we do.
them swim.
Well, they won't all be free, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna open the pool on weekends so that it's free to the community.
Okay,
That's one. Number two, we do 2 sessions where we're gonna be going free swim lessons, the week of spring break and then one in the fall. And so, and that is open to,
so 2 weeks free.
I'm sorry. Should I speak?
Just introduce yourself so that.
Sorry, again, I met you guys last month. My name is Jack Howe. I am on the executive committee of the YMCA board and I'm former chair. To answer your question though, one of the things that the Y is very proud of is that nobody is turned away for lack of being able to afford. So while the general construct of swim lessons is going to be that people are going to pay for it, if somebody, a family, a child, whoever cannot afford the lessons, the Y does have procedures in place where they will not have to.
Okay.
Guys use Broward County's swim vouchers?
We do. Swim Central?
Yes.
Yes. Yes, we probably are one of the smartest groups to leverage and use this. Because we do, everything that we're doing around kids is pretty intentional. So we take advantage of that.
Cover all.
Covers a portion of those costs.
Will the pool be open to the public free of charge?
On weekends, we're going to have like family days so that families can come in and use that pool at no charge. Yes.
Okay, is it set time? Is it all day? How's that?
We haven't figured that out yet, but there will be a lot of open time on weekends.
And then midweek, it's subject to membership and charge, or?
Yeah, but I mean, yes, the answer is yes. That pool is going to be very busy between swim lessons, lap swim, water exercise, water therapy, lap swim. I mean, there's quite a few things that'll be going on in the pool. A lot of different programs.
It's just one pool, right?
There's 2 pools. I don't know if I have a picture on the slide. Well, you can kind of see the other one. That one.
Kinda see it.
That was lap pool, and then there's like a teaching pool. So we'll be using both for little kids. Yeah. How many lanes is the lap pool? Do you know? 6. Say 10. You want 10? Yeah. Carol,
Give up a lane on Federal Highway.
Rains, we could turn one into two. It will be heated, yes. Now, whether you get in it or not, will be a different story.
You can get in and you just won't feel comfortable getting out. So there is a pool at the Y on Sistrunk.
Yep.
And I'm a member there. And oftentimes lately I see there's not a lifeguard, so then the pool is not open for use. So are you addressing, I guess, well, lifeguard staffing part of it? But the other question is, so for the public use of it without the membership, you said it would be for the weekends. How does it work now at the Y at the Sistrunk? When is it open for the
It's
public?
not open.
Okay,
for
that's
the
what I
general
was not aware. I was aware, I never
So
thought
we
that.
paid with YMCA money. And this is
Oh,
the city
public
money.
funds.
This is
Thank you.
This is our way of showing how we want us to come to the community and make sure that we're also teaching.
So I have a question. What are the capacity limits? For me, 6 lanes means nothing other than 6 lanes. What's the capacity limits? Can I put 100 people there or can I put 20?
If you're doing lap swim, you can put 2 people per lane.
Oh,
Well,
so
if they're good swimmers and they're all at the same
Yeah.
pace, you can get up to 4 swimmers in the pool on a 25-yard pool. But if they're not at the same pace, then they're running into each other at the middle of the pool.
I think LA Fitness only has.
So for comparison, that's very similar to our community pools that we have now.
Yeah.
When you talk about lanes wise, and we do use 2 swimmers per lane.
And I was, yeah, this is an aside, but at LA Fitness, I think there are 5 lanes.
there are 4 lanes at the,
Yeah.
at the system.
The kids, another pool?
It's right here. Open pool. It's more of a teaching pool for the little guys.
So
That's important.
that's okay.
But
That's
that
very
doesn't mean we're not gonna also be teaching in another corner of the bigger pool.
So what's the capacity like per people if you think that's a small pool? And that, I mean,
That'd be for groups of 6 to 8 instructors, and it's very small.
6 to 8.
6 to 8 kids at any given time. So
That's very
you'd
small.
be able to do 2 groups of 4. But that's for the beginning swimmer that's just getting used to getting into the water. And then they'll graduate into the bigger pool when they're able to swim the short distance across the pool without the lane lines.
They used to have that at the aquatic center. They used to have that little pool like that. All my kids learned to swim in that little pool. So they didn't put it back when they redid it, but that's a very important.
Still have
Very important. Your name?
Oh, I got Claire? Mark Russell, I'm with YMCA.
Mark Russell, thank you.
Sorry.
That little pool.
Keep in mind, this is gonna be open 16 hours a day. You know, we will be programming all different types of things at the same time. We'll have open lap swim going on. There could be swim lessons going on at different times. Then it becomes more of a multi-use pool because we could have 2 lanes and water exercise, no lessons. It's all based on how, like swim lessons start 4, 5, 6 o'clock at night, in the summer, we do a ton of them. We'll have, all of the summer day camp kids will learn to swim. That's part of our program, is that water safety is part of every one of our kids' summer day camp program, because we're committed to that. So there'll be lots of activity.
Will there be lights?
Yes.
Okay. So it's at night.
Yep. Early in the morning.
So the past,
We'll open, I don't know if we're gonna open it. Probably, my guess is we're gonna open at 5 in the morning and be open till at least 9 at night.
That's like the aquatic.
And
center, like
7 days a week, different times on weekends, but.
Using families on the weekends for the free. What do you mean by families? Do you mean only like people with kids or like older adults?
All of the above.
Okay.
All of the above.
You and your ball machine.
Yeah.
It definitely won't.
That's exactly.
the water balloons and stuff.
So
But not like
the
this.
4 million, 4.5 in addition to the 50 million project?
That's all part of it.
The whole part. Okay, so the 50 million, it's include this pool. You just need to figure out how to get that 50 million.
We've asked the city and all of you to
Contribute.
support and contribute to that.
Yeah, and keep in mind too, if you recall from the previous presentation that Ms. Woods provided at the last meeting, this is like an all-inclusive opportunity. So you come to Holiday Park, you may have kids on the soccer, rec league,
I'm gonna have the
baseball
tennis
league,
courts.
tennis courts. You can come and have a workout. You can come and swim in the pool. It's really a unique opportunity to have a one-stop shop for essentially all recreational needs for a family.
So with the 2 million that the city commissioners are putting in, would that be enough for the pool? No, that's 4 million.
So that is just the contributing commitment from our commissioners for the project now. Ms. Woods and the YMCA will come up with the rest, but that's what our commission has committed.
It means a lot to us that the commission wanted to do that. That meant a lot to us, and every little bit helps.
But let me ask a question. I think I recall last meeting, there was the site itself is the city property, right? So I think like we already contributing the prime real estate, which is a great location. And now you're asking us to contribute to cover the cost for the pool.
Because we are quadrupling the types of programs and services that Parks and Rec and no one else in the community
Again,
is
but we're
providing.
giving you a site.
It's a request for you to want to save kids' lives. That's what it's a request for.
But if the city would not give you a site, there would be more discussion, right?
Then you wouldn't, the community wouldn't have all the amenities and all these.
I understand, it's important, but you know, it's not the only contribution, that's 4.5 million, like we, as a city, we.
But they're only giving up, it's only $2 million.
Taking the land, the total. Yeah. But remember, like I said, okay, there aren't many others who would contribute the other 48 million and have all of the costs forever to operate this. So when you add all that together, that's huge that we're committing to this community.
Yeah,
Carl.
to me,
Sorry.
giving up $2 million for the pool is a great idea, considering you're gonna have the lifetime, perpetuity maintenance of the pool, the programs and everything else. The city's not on the hook for that.
Right.
The city spends a lot of money for the aquatic center, keeping that place up and running. So
Right.
$2 million is a drop in the bucket for the longevity and the maintenance and running of programs for that pool.
2 million barely covers the maintenance year.
Right.
Of running aquatic centers.
And also one of the bigger things for the board's consideration is like currently there's no pool at Holiday. And the closest pools, public pools, if you would, is Summer. So, and then there's Croissant issues. So it's a real unique opportunity to have a park, especially centrally located with that amenity as well.
It's
I
great.
know you had a question.
Sorry, yeah. What if, I know what you're saying about programming, but what about our programming? Are we just, is that on the back burner? Because even the website is very thin with programming for anything from toddlers to, even,
Why? I'm kind of, what do you mean?
just even for
Rise.
Yeah, so once this comes online, the YMCA is handling indoor programs and our group is handling all the exterior programs, like soccer league.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm just saying,
Are you asking what programs are gonna be?
it's just, no offense to the Y. Yeah. But the Y, they're a great program, but they've been coming into different cities in South Florida. And I've just been seeing a lot of parks departments just kind of like wavering back and letting them take over programming. I don't know. I'm not saying for the park in general, I'm saying programming for the whole city. You know what I mean? I think our programming is lacking in a sense, that we don't offer a lot of, I don't know if we're not getting enough contractors or what in that instance, but, oh yeah, I mean, if this is the way that you're saying, okay, yeah, they're gonna be running some programming, so that's what we need, then okay, you know what I mean? If that's where we're lacking because we don't have enough contractors or not sufficient or good contractors to come in and do really good. That
I could tell you from Sunrise Middle School, but they're having a lot of issues with the contractors. That, as a matter of fact, I don't even think there's anybody right now, right?
Yeah, so
The person that
we don't
had the
have a
contract
grant
failed on it.
We're actually facilitating open times of that pool now.
Yeah, so city gets left holding the bag sometimes, but if somebody's not really, stepping up to help out.
Summer camp? Okay. Yeah. So can I chase that for a second? Yeah. Cause I think that's really a good thing. I gotta say, some parks and rec departments always used to feel threatened.
It always used to be a competition. with the
I
YMCA.
agree.
So
Years ago, I
Years
worked for, right. I was like, who are you? Now I'm on the other side of it. And,
Right.
and our approach is, we don't want to duplicate, we want to complement the services, okay? And there's things that we're really, really good at and things that parks really good at. And so this becomes a home run because we put these two together. And so talking to you guys, talking to the HOA community, we're saying, hey, what are the gaps in programs and services? Now, we're not going to be an expert at all of them, but we also have connections. I think too, because funding is hard. Okay. I mean, this is what we do, right? And we love to utilize the space. Okay. We sit here and say, if we've got 4 hours, what are we gonna do? Who's the population? How do we program it? Can we do seniors at that time? Can we do homeschool kids? What can we do? Because we see it as an asset for the community that needs to use it. And so, I think all we want to do is help bring programs to the east side of Fort Lauderdale where moms and grandmas and kids and individual people can all come and gather and really build community. Because there's not that one-stop shop that we talked about, and we really want to do that. And we're very good at that. We're very, very good at that, and we're not here to take anything over. We're here to supplement and help. You need help, we want to help.
YMCA, is that strictly for residents exclusively, or is it for anybody that wants?
It's for anybody. Yeah, it's anybody.
In fact, they're building 30,000 units or all around, just different locations. That's probably an underestimate.
Yeah,
This is the perfect place for this facility.
It is. And let me say, in all of our dealings with HOAs, okay, they're like, oh my God, how do we do this? How do we go faster? This place is going to be amazing. It's going to bring so many wonderful things together. And no offense, you guys should get credit for that. Okay, because this is your park. I want you to feel like you're bringing these things to the community.
That place is going to be surrounded by, I think to the north, that where that gym is, it's going to come down, and that's all going to be apartments, another 10, 20-story building. And Sears is 20 to 40 stories. So if this is going to be like an island in the middle of the ocean of apartments, and
That's true.
and so it's really a much needed facility.
I agree.
And I think, do we make a motion?
Yes.
Then there's another bell.
All right. I didn't know if we had to make a motion.
So just to clarify, so this is actually not a P3, right?
No.
This. But it's your facility for you to do. So, actually my question, are we giving up on getting any more land as for parks with this? Like,
No,
we're done, right? With, if they
Not
give
counting
up.
enough on getting land, but land is at a premium in the city.
Yeah.
We've scoured a lot of areas, and in some certain districts, there just isn't land available. But as you all know, through the bond project process, $7.5 million was allocated to each commissioner. Some went to help fund projects, some went to acquire property, and then some went to projects similar to like this. So,
And this is in District 2, so it's a District 2 commissioner, right? It's kind of like, and then District 1, that's where I live, but I go to that park all the time. So,
No, but I'm just like, but then all the commissioners are done with their.
no, so both commissioners still have some money. Don't quote me on the number, but the only districts that do not have any funds is 3 and 4.
And that's, three gave it to, our.
Yes, District 3 gave their funding to Carter Park, and 4 went to, Parkland, Isles, or was it, yeah, Lauderdale Isles and,
Joint use parks.
Yeah. So yeah, that brings up a good point that, but did you have another? I don't know.
You already started.
Okay, so I think very much like what we did for Carter Park, it was we had the commissioners backing to recommend the money be donated or moved over. So I think that's where we are. But if did you have another question?
Yes, I do have a question from Shadow. So we had that presentation last month, and I would be okay hearing that last month. But month later, I'm hearing that we need to contribute $2 million. What is next month coming up?
No. This is not new news.
How is
It's
that
not new.
That's October surprise for me, because I thought we cover, we give you a land, you do the investment, and there's a great project, and I'm not gonna discuss see it or not. I think it's a lot of development. Everybody is a gym in those developments. I think we need another gym in the holiday park.
I'm sorry, but it's not new. The commissioners brought it up at commission meetings several times. We've had it in our pre-commission meetings that they want to do that. It's not new.
And I was in support of this project, but my question is, I'd be probably more comfortable if I heard that last month, like, okay, this.
I think it was missing.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. So, so last month was a presentation to make you aware of this project that's coming. At that meeting, I also mentioned that the following month, we would be having a conversation about land acquisition allocation towards the pool.
And that's the only item right now.
Yes.
Next month, we're not expecting
Yeah.
another.
This month, there was no funding. This month,
I just want to be comfortable with the fact that this is yes, investment on your side, but also for a city. I don't want to be like 2 years from now, and I know you already gonna complete that. There was gonna be a page order, and then we're gonna be shipping.
No, so like commission only has a finite amount of funding. So as part of that discussion that Mr. Woods had at a previous commission meeting, there was the discussion from each commissioner that gave the authority to allow for that $1 million each from those two districts. That's all the commitment that they have provided at this time. So I wouldn't engage and think that even if there was a change order, that wouldn't be on the scene.
That's correct. Because we're not developers.
Does the city have any funding in the park use potentially? I get where her concern is. We're about to take money out of land usage or potentially land acquisition funds that are desperately needed. The city needed, the taxpayers knew they needed. We passed a bond to create a fund to acquire new land, and yet we keep raiding that kitty over and over and over to offset essentially operating costs or development costs, which the rest of the bond was supposed to cover. And keep going away from actually acquiring and preserving any future land that overall $30 million is supposed to do. The question is, rather than going back into that kitty another time, is there funding in park usage funds and or other of these large developments everybody keeps speaking of that are right in that downtown corridor that are surrounding this that would gain direct benefit from the utilization of the pool, that we can utilize those funds for this rather than bond dollars out of the land acquisition fees or funds. Just a thought.
But I think development funds already moved into, has already been approved, and I don't think any new development.
New development brings in new park usage fees.
It's like an impact.
He's referring to park.
Park impact, sorry.
Yeah.
So, and also to Caleb's point, over the course of the bond process, we've acquired several properties that you all have seen and has come through the board. But like as I stated previously, property is at a premium. And as you recall from a couple of meetings ago, we brought the baby park. There was a unique opportunity to acquire that. Came before the board for you all to review it and make your recommendation, which you ultimately did. And so this is essentially each district commissioner's way of saying, okay, there may not be a surplus of land in my district, but I do have the ability to allocate some funding to assist a project that's going to help the community at large, especially for a regional park like Holiday.
I think that as far as playing devil's advocate here, and you know, I understand where you guys were talking about, you know, the funds that were allocated for acquiring property, which is something that I remember I had to do my own presentation, trying to bring up some of these properties that I thought would fit in. And this is when I first joined the board. I don't even know how many years ago, but time again, there's just no property. So what's the lesser of two evils? Leave that money there doing nothing, or take it and put it towards something that might benefit the community and kids in general overall. So, you know, I mean, like Charlie said, it's a drop in the bucket. You're not going to be able to acquire an adequate park space in District 1 or District 2 for $2 million. I mean, I think a house in that area might be somewhere around that area. Then you're talking about maybe 100 feet by 100 feet. So, I mean, that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah.
$2 million. Where are you going to get a property in there for $2 million?
I think it's a good use.
It's impossible.
It's a good use of the land acquisition funds to me.
Agree.
To put it towards building that pool that's the entire community can use. You know, obviously they may have to contribute some money to it, but if you're going to the gym, you're going anywhere else, you're paying $40, $50, $60 a month to go to the gym or wherever you go. Okay. $10 a month to Planet Fitness, all right? Which is right. But I still think the point is for the $2 million, like Alex said, we can't buy any land. The construction costs are exorbitant. They're not coming down. They're only going to get higher. I mean, they're 40 to 50% higher than they were when we first got bond money approved. So I think this is a good use of that money. The two commissioners for 2 and 1 have said it's a great idea. It's going to serve the people in that community and the proximity community, Crow Ridge. I think it's a good use of the money. I understand Caleb's point that we've kind of, you know,
Dipped into the fund.
we've dipped into the fund, but that money, you know, 3 went to Carter Park, which the cost came in much higher because of the construction costs have gone up 30-40%. So they need the money to make that project whole. Same thing with the people in District 4. That little park in the corner down there, that needed a community center, and it was a good use of that. I don't know what, $750, something like that, whatever we get. So I just think it's a good use of the money to serve the community at large.
And adhering to the original bond structure is like cutting off your nose to spite your face, because I understand that, you know, it was there for that reason, but I think that time came and went. I just think that, you know, but I reckon
We can use a bond money. Well, they're supposed to be allocated for land acquisition. And looks like we're gonna allocate to build something. We can use this $2 million to build something in a city-owned parks. I don't know, backsplash for the children. You know, a
or
playground.
reallocate the money towards.
We're questioning the project and putting $2 million, but what I understand, there is an impact fee in that district. There's a lot of developments happening, and maybe we should look, maybe they can fund this and we can reallocate the money to build the playgrounds where we, you know, I'm hearing from the people in the holiday park, the kids already grow up, you know, we used to love playing the playground was shut down. The kids from age of 5, now they 17 years old, the playground is still not open. You know, I don't think we're questioning the 2 million. I think maybe we can look for some other funding sources that they would benefit from that pool directly. We're hearing there would be 24 people max on a 6-lane pool. 24 people. There's a huge city. I'm gonna be standing in the line like I'm waiting for the tennis courts in the peak hours. When I go on so I please don't understand that I don't want this happen. I do want to happen, but I think we can probably look where the money is.
One of the things to keep in mind too is that the land acquisition funds is just that. There's no construction costs associated with that. So when we acquired the Bayview Park property, it was just for that. That doesn't include any kind of work that would go inside.
But you're telling us right now that we can use the land acquisition money from District 1 and 2 to construct the pool, right? So
In a
that's,
park, yes,
that's legal, what I understand.
yes.
So what I understand, the same money, the land acquisition money can be used to construct a playground for children.
Isn't there money already allocated
So-
for that? There's
Yes,
yeah.
so the bond program has a list of projects that we have that you all have reviewed and went over, and we do have funds allocated for the $1 million playground that's going in at Holiday Park. So that's going to happen. We're also gonna have a splash pad at Holiday Park.
Sure you find the project,
That's all part of the bond program. So when we talk about the bond program, those fees are allocated, and we're basically going through the process from conceptual to design, construction. As it pertains to land acquisition, as Mr. Collazo kind of mentioned, is that the challenge is finding properties. And as mentioned by our commission, properties are at a premium. And so
but looks like you can spend
that's
money for
they're
anything else.
utilizing their funds to improve parking.
I feel like we've had a conversation, we might be going in circles. I wonder if we can make a recommendation,
Yes.
see where the board stands.
Like a great idea.
Can I make a comment? May I?
Sure.
So, first of all, you are providing a recreation space to this community. Okay, and so let's not forget, it's right in your wheelhouse. This is probably, in the course of the day, 500 people running through. Okay, I don't know how many people go through a playground, I don't know how many people go through whatever. There's gonna be 500 people that will be using this in some form or fashion over a 16-hour day. That's a lot. The other thing is that people are gonna come from lots of places because there isn't anything for families to do. And that's gonna happen on this pool deck. Okay, so I don't understand land acquisition and the bond stuff, and I respectfully hear what you guys are saying. But this is just a small investment to teach children, bring families together, serve more people that the park wouldn't serve today. Okay, I'm telling you, they would be. There's no way to be able to do that. Carl couldn't afford to do this. He couldn't even afford to build that pool. Okay, his splash pad. How much is your splash pad?
Nowhere near that.
Okay. So you are creating a destination for East Fort Lauderdale people, and I hear you. See that this is a home run because $2 million is nothing compared to what the number of people we're going to serve. You know?
And to Marjo's point, all right?
Yeah.
You were saying they could use park impact fees to fund this thing.
Mhm.
They need the money now to fund this project. We could use park impact fees when we finish to build the things that you want to build because you're building something.
We've done it.
Right, we're just gonna, it's basically a shifting of funds.
Do we know how much we have back impact fees from the,
I
we
don't
just
have
finished fiscal year, do we know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it depends on what.
Can we check if it's money available in those? I wanna be clear, I'm supporting it, we are excited, nobody's questioning this, but can we see how much money we have? We just finished fiscal year.
I can
Mine too, that the commissioners themselves have gone, I will give $1 million that I have at my disposal.
So we
I mean,
have to.
they have both said that for quite some time.
And Mary,
So-
we didn't even ask for it.
Well,
Okay.
I did.
We didn't ask for it. The commission said, we want to help because
So,
this is
yeah,
something
so-
that we can do that's gonna affect kids' lives.
They
and
didn't
save
ask for
lives.
this million and they just offer?
Well, they knew that we wanted to build a pool and this was pretty make a motion that.
Let's,
We're very excited about this, so you know. I think we're just having a healthy conversation. But I thought I heard someone about this for the motion.
yes, can I make a motion?
Too many people talking. Cause there can still be discussion after your motion, so go ahead and make your motion.
I make a motion that, we recommend, recommend the
Commissioner's donation.
donation of $1 million from district.
Sorry, the allocation.
Thank you very much. The allocation of $2 million, one from District 1, one from District 2. To the YMCA to facilitate the construction of the pool.
Yeah, we're contributing towards the construction of. You can read that, cause.
You don't want to put words in my mouth.
Too late.
Say it, I'll repeat it.
Get all that?
I didn't know what you said.
I make a motion.
No, I know what you said. I didn't.
Well, I would rather, this is Parks Bond money, so I would rather the board member make his own motion, and then we're gonna need a second,
Yeah.
followed by a vote.
Can we hear it again?
Just, yeah, why don't you read it back?
Read it back.
Testing me, okay. From what I got. So like us, made a motion that we recommend, saying we recommend. The allocation of $2 million, one for District 1, one for District 2, million that is. From the land acquisition fund to the YMCA to facilitate the construction of the pool. Is that right?
Is that for you?
Yes.
I second.
I second it.
Why?
You guys, let's say right. I don't know who's
I
second.
got last step, so I got.
It said YMCA.
Yeah, you give it to him.
All right.
Second.
Did you want discussion or? we ready for-
No, we need a roll call. This is part of it.
We've had plenty of discussion.
Wait, if we drag this out to another month, do we get the? But if I just.
That sounds like Brian. Yes.
Mr. Eckstein,
Yes.
Mr. Colazzo,
Yes.
Ms. Peliquin,
Yes.
Tarco,
Yes.
Ms. Oglesby,
Yes.
Ms. Coetzee,
Yes.
Ms. McGill,
Yes.
Ms. Rexo,
Yes.
Ms. Sisler,
Yes.
and Chair Gunter.
Yes.
Okay, unanimous.
I do think for discussion, it would be helpful to, if we can get an assessment, you said you'll bring in the impact fees. And if, I remember we had a document, maybe you can update it with the bond dollars.
Didn't we have a meeting when we had a
Like I remember having it, so maybe it's just more of an update that breaks down, Director Carl, like, what's the why there before? How much has been spent on purchasing the land for parks versus or down sitting there versus what we reallocated, if that's possible. I felt like there was and I think that'll just be helpful to have as a house. Yeah, that's like a line, yeah. And if it's a matter of moving 2 million over to the other. Why is that? Yeah.
Next item on the agenda is.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that.
Conversations. We are gonna make you very, very proud, very proud. And we're gonna stake kids' lives. I promise you. Okay?
Just make sure it's very accessible and easy for the public to use on the days that you say.
Yes.
You will still have to, don't put in the word family, just say you are here, you are a person,
Still have to come.
you don't have 4 legs.
Go through the lobby, because we gotta make sure.
I do like that suggestion, Matt.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that, because I think a few of us were concerned about.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
yeah,
just
yeah.
so wording, just make sure when it is open to the public on the times that you designate, that you say it's open to the public and not to families. You know, we don't want to make sure when it's more inclusive,
You got it.
so that
Especially
people
some
can
community
interpret,
is diverse of ours.
yeah, interpret what that means.
See, I think families
brothers, sisters, I think it's everybody.
Yeah, I just, I know, yeah.
To do the barbecue stuff, that would be fabulous. I would be.
Okay, I appreciate you guys very much. You'll never see me again. I'm not getting any food.
I enjoy the company, but.
You're gonna see her playing everything.
Every time I see you, so back, I just want to.
I wish, I wish. And you know, the other thing is, think of all the jobs. The lifeguards, the kids that are gonna, you know.
We do excited, we are excited.
I don't have to.
Figure out.
Can you come to Sunrise Middle School, please?
Boy, you don't wanna go there, don't they?
Right.
See, you should do the
Thank
contractors.
you.
Okay,
All right,
Next thing.
next up, there's a new code of conduct the city has passed. It's a new
Yeah, but
city order.
it's just for me to come from.
Man.
Anybody?
2024.
He's not here, I know. Oh, I don't know, I don't take care of him. I think, why?
that your meeting was the next.
Oh, man, well, it didn't even put the date on there. That's
You should have- The
When was
sign
the-
was, I believe it was,
You want us all to sign these, right?
it was in October.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
It was that, I got it.
If we already sent them in, we still need to sign it again? Cause this one's electronic, it was sent to us electronically a few months ago. Right, and then I printed secretary. I don't know, I printed it and then signed it, scanned it, and then sent it in.
We're here, sign.
And something directly with Bill on the sheet.
I would say.
But if you haven't submitted it, you can present to me now.
Then I can do it again.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Spread before we all sign.
Oh, no, it's
No.
the second sheet, so it's another page.
Thank you, thank you.
It's a after code of conduct that we have to sign.
We all look at our phone.
I know.
Same thing.
And what was it? 33, yes.
I told you, it was.
See the page, I think I have
The whole thing.
First thing is.
I believe we've only received one.
You got one.
The board chair, board secretary has indicated she only received one. Guys, I think that. So.
That's strange.
I think, I know we didn't let them remember one tonight. Okay.
Question is, how many other boards are as close to compliant as we are?
Oh, sir, I cannot.
I will make,
That would be right.
well, I'm.
Okay, everybody sign, send it down. Oh, we're just missing one.
I'll be proud to report.
You're missing two, aren't we?
Right? No, because we're missing two.
Missing,
Yeah, well, those who are present.
chair, we're missing two people. Stacy Rivers never come to one. I mean,
You made it. Big fat. Signed this already.
that's not disparaging. That's.
Oh.
It's
But-
from our minutes.
But no, I think that's a good point though, right? I think we have a rule about that, and I think just factually forget the person.
Yes. You saying it, not me.
No, I mean, it's just a fact. I'm not trying to make.
No,
it's not. But we should revisit that, right? I mean, it's like three in a row. I think it's three consecutive.
Yeah,
calendar.
Yeah, they have,
This week.
they have to keep, they have to keep count.
Is there, in our calendar year actually started in October, because I confirmed with Camille, so he said based on how we take our minutes, our year started actually this October until September 2025. So that's considered our year.
Just actually split the year.
Okay, good to know.
so our year just started. We started the year.
That's October through September.
I mean, and the point isn't really about this one person. I think it's about the opportunity for another person to have perform.
It's a good, mission.
Especially on the phone.
Results. You'll let us know.
I got a question.
Count the job.
Is there an excused absence or if you're out, you're out?
Well, you're sick, the hospital, that's the.
No, no,
You are.
Going back to the time you have to get one time.
You are
I've had a couple of
incapacitated, they cannot attend, yes.
like that, so I know I'm on the bubble on this one.
Yeah, look, I
No. But
But you got a new calendar here.
I know, I made it to the end.
Jubilee, baby.
One.
I was incapacitated for one meeting. So I remained in hospital and
Like, there, excuse that.
Yeah.
Not like that.
Is it important?
Oh.
Do we need to do the time?
Read the order.
I mean, what do we have to do?
Well, you don't have to read it on the record, it's an ordinance, so it's in the code, it's been.
I mean, what do we have to do? All I'm asking is what do we have to do with?
Oh, you have to sign,
Sign,
you
yeah.
can sign.
I signed the code of conduct, but there's also an ordinance. that-
Oh, no, that's just for your reference.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That was my item.
Try to make sure business is still moving along. So are we gonna do this now?
Yeah.
It's my.
Crunch time long, punch day.
All right, moving on to new business. Any new business?
I think we should give another $1 million to the Y.
Not part of the agenda today.
That's next month.
My only new business, Director Carl has a note of for impact fees and
Yes, yes.
And I'll provide it.
especially the new buildings. And we have
And then what's the radius of parking
radius,
fees? Do you remember that was something that came up in topic? How the new buildings are. Like
And the way it's zoned, I think, when downtown started,
Holiday Park would be a perfect spot.
Yeah.
Because everything's right there. And that's what I was trying to indicate there is why not park impact fees? Because
Yeah.
the proximity is right there. But realistically, you know, we look at taking stuff from downtown and putting it to whatever, the tip of the airport or the tip of the south of whatever, it may not be within that radius. So we need to know the length of that.
I have a question. Have the impact fees always stayed at a certain level? Or as the economy increases, so does the impact fees?
So I can't speak to how the assessment of the market, but as we know that it is for new construction
Yes,
and
but is
wanna
it
say
the
that
same amount in 20 years ago as it is today?
Based on.
they've definitely made some changes to it.
it's based off.
Yeah. I'm a little comfortable with us speaking in the air and speculating on what we have. I think it would be best to bring you all a report,
Okay, that's a good idea.
and
Fantastic.
outline how much we have, how the impact fees are collected.
Jurisdictions and how
Right, that
don't
way,
be-
yeah, if you wanna discuss it at that point,
Yeah.
then I'm sure Carl and his team, or if you have any questions.
Keep in mind too that
I don't have that information and I don't think.
the budget office came, they did a presentation on the parking impact fee portion, but I'll extrapolate those points and send that to you all so you have.
So I was on the beach today and the business has made a sign that they strap to, they, like, put a lock on it to the bike racks. This is just north of the El River.
Okay.
It's for a Segway. I don't think that's supposed to be there.
Yeah, I'll give it to.
And then, and so along my walk, I don't know if you know as, parks, but walking along the beach road, they just made it so beautiful and everything. Is there any way to outlaw gum on the beach? This-
So cute.
If you walk along the street, they have all this new tile and everything, but there's just black spots of
Yeah.
gum.
I try to put a bounty on the crab book.
Oh, I remember that.
So there is volunteer efforts on the beach. I want to say every month or every quarter where they do scrape gum and things of that nature off the sidewalks. Gum is one of those things that's almost unimaginably unfortunate. I don't know if you can begin to.
Kind of monster spits come up.
Well, there's signs or something like spit your gum.
You have to tell somebody that they're not gonna, that's a
Yeah.
person gonna listen.
And the other thing too, we are noticing that there are lots of light poles that are starting to crumble, deteriorate. There's like wires sticking out of them and stuff.
Oh, exposed wires?
Yeah, on the lights, well, or they're, you know, you can kind of see them, but there's like falling on, coming on all the lights. No, the new light, not the new, well, they're probably the older one, but yeah, walking down.
Are they
on the ocean side, and they're all facing the, you know, it's on the side of the salt. From the ocean.
The ocean, okay.
Yeah, so you're not that visible, but my husband's like, Mr. Radar,
Part of the
your maintenance, so he's like, oh, this is the problem, this is, you know, this is cracking, this needs.
Another issue on A1A, since we're talking about this.
No,
New business.
when
Yeah.
It's in Hard Rock, that there was, we actually had one of our cleaners, we're the gum brigade. And they not only, they were in the parking garages and all the sidewalks, and it was like a group of 12 people. You know, they didn't all 12 work every day. We always had the 12 gum brigade. And that's all they did. They went around with these things, they get like
Scrapers?
they scraped it up.
I don't want to belabor the meeting, but if we do see things like this, can we just email you? Okay, so I'll email you my other issue that I thought of each.
Some of you already do.
on the wall.
Walk the park in the dark.
Yeah, are they ever gonna fix the wall light?
Yes, in fact, we were trying to think here how, so we recently went through the selection committee, went to bid, and we had a selection committee review the bids that we have. One of the bidders was almost $5 million.
Fix the light, the light on the wall.
Oh, white fiber optic, right? Yeah. Thank you. And I think the other bid was like maybe 2 or 3 million. So there's a bit of a negotiation and conversation going on with that. Yes, the plan is to repair that. I'm hoping to have that done first quarter of the calendar year.
Good.
Yeah.
Same thing, right? Just changing colors.
Is that like a mile of light?
It is.
Could you be
I mean,
like-
it's, in some areas, there's not the wave wall light, but there is a good portion of on A1. Close to a mile.
No, $79.99 an Amazon.
Yeah, the problem though is that the
Don't mind.
level of grading for the lights to do a salt water.
Are those here? I think those are the original lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that wall was built when Jim Noggin was,
Yeah, that's correct.
20+ years.
that's, you know, not everything lasts forever.
Well, let's
We
be
tried to
clear.
replace some of them over time, but now they don't make those size anymore. So that's how we have to kind of.
Yeah, there's like a little strip and nothing.
I like the lights.
That's a lot of money for the lights, 5 million.
I have a question, because I noticed that at one commissioner meeting that I was watching, that you talked about like marathon. Is that in your jurisdiction?
What do you mean?
Like I know that he was confusing like the 13.1
Oh.
marathon half and then the Publix A1A. But I was just wondering, is that like, do you sign off on the marathon and the routes and?
So I sign off on nothing.
Okay.
We administrate the applications for events, and the A1A is 13
Great.
mile, 6 mile one. We work with the promoter and the HOAs on a plan.
Okay.
Then of course it goes before commission for
Okay, because I was just wondering about the 13.1 and then they also have the 10K, like in November. It's November 10th, I think, 9th, 10th. Like, so is that okay now, or is there like still some problems with?
the half marathon has been approved. The full marathon is still going through.
Well, that's February.
Run.
Well, I think to run a 10K.
Oh.
I run a lot.
Also, just a quick statement, I went to Fort Lauderdale Boo at Snyder Park on Saturday with my family. It was great.
Wow.
It's good.
We're doing it this weekend too?
And yeah, jazz, what was it? The music and Carter Parkway's right, it was nice.
Yeah, car park jams, yes.
Right, jams. So just to answer your question, let's see what I get on top. So, the code provides the system of, determining the park impact fees. And so, as I indicated, we'll give you a better, in the code at, section 47-38A2. actually A3, excuse me, and it has the square footage and how those fees are determined, and of course, city manager is the impact the administrator. So each time, you know, a developer or someone submits an application for permitting, then they calculate the impact fee based on that square footage.
Like charities or something?
Yeah, so let's see.
Wondering if any of the buildings or land barons are finding loopholes to get out of paying parking impact fees.
Right, well, development collection applications, such as if the application fee is gonna be equal to or greater than the fee that's gonna be imposed, and they'll be exempt. Affordable housing, development, they'll be exempt, and probably charitable, but I'm reading it as we speak, so again, I can present you with a.
Affordable housing.
Right, but I just want to try to answer your question.
I got you.
We adjourn, but yes, I'll bring you a better presentation, and of course, we'll have some numbers for you.
That'd be great.
When is our next meeting? I know the November, December is kind of a
Yeah,
combo.
December 5th.
Are you?
December 4th.
December
Yes, due to the holidays being merged,
meetings?
Like,
They don't have to be twice as long.
Is that gonna be your last one?
Oh, no.
Your seventh term, is that what it is?
Is it just a regular meeting where it's a Christmas party?
It's not like the council.
It's not like the council on here.
It's an actual meeting.
I missed that last.
Any other new business? before I Finalize my last agenda item.
Wait, is this your last meeting? No,
Next.
with German out?
the whole time I've been here. No, wait, what have you done?
I'm done in February.
No, I think I'm further. Could never be.
Hey,
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
Any other new